to you Maria Richardson, Director of Recreation, Natural Resources, and Culture.
Excuse me.
I am Maria Richardson. I'm really delighted to be here as you visit this wonderful place. This is a treasure of our city. Under this administration, under the Reed-Gaziora's administration, the city of Trenton is pursuing a lot of different things, a lot of different improvements for our historical assets, knowing that that is really the way for our city to move forward. So I am really pleased to be here at the Trent House, and it is my true pleasure to introduce our Honorable Mayor Reed-Gaziora.
Thanks so much, especially for our visitors. Bonjour to our French folks. And I'm really pleased that our Congresswoman is here and our Councilwoman Marge Caldwell-Wilson. But it's really important that the Congresswoman is here because Congress, of course, funded the troops and, of course, the long march from Rhode Island down to Yorktown. So this is exciting for an opportunity for Trenton to showcase its history. We were the turning point of the revolution, and we keep making changes. And the Trent House Association is so instrumental in bringing the story of William Trent out, and who was a founder of Trenton. But also they're starting to develop the history of the African American experience, and that's why I'm ecstatic to see the diversity here as well. There were slave quarters here. They probably lived by the Youth Justice Complex. But it's so important that we educate everyone about the whole story of Trenton from start to finish. And I'm grateful to be part of it. And am I introducing our great? I get to introduce our next speaker, Bonnie Watson Coleman. She's doing a great job down in Washington, giving them heck. And we're really appreciative of all that she does for Trenton and preserving history. It's been very important for her and her family, and she gets us the federal funding that we all need. So our heroess, Bonnie Watson Coleman.
Everybody, I am so delighted to be here. I mean, first of all, just to be standing among history and in the place of history, you know, it's pretty awesome. To recognize that we're at a moment in our history right now in the United States of America where we're trying to get the story straight. Nancy Pelosi, who's the Speaker of the House of Representatives, appointed me to the Semi-Quincentennial Commission, which is going to be the celebration of our 250 years, and we're planning now, and we're putting money in now as we build the infrastructure of this. Of what's going to be a very notable year, recognizing the greatness of this country. We also recognize the diversity that helped to make this country great even before it was determined to be such. I mean, we recognize what even George Washington said about the excellence of the troops of color fighting for our freedom as Americans. And we recognize that that fight is going on today, whether it's in the courts, in the House of Representatives, in the Senate, or just even in our communities. But this is a great time to be proud of being an American. And so it is my delight to be here to stand with our representation of our history, to talk about the richness of our history, and to talk about where we will go as a country of wonderfully brilliant and diverse people. When I'm on the commission and we're talking about doing these things in recognition of our 250 years, I tell them, I don't want but Trenton. I want Trenton to be before the comma, because Trenton was significant in winning this Revolutionary War. And so today, I love being here with our mayor at the crossroads of the Revolutionary War, and I look forward to being around when we really do celebrate our 250 years. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you, Mayor.
This is a shining star in the city of Trenton.
And I love all the work that the trust does and the staff. And I want everybody to give an applaud for our reenactors and our colored folks, because they are there with us in the city of Trenton with all the reenactments and everything to signify and show the world that this is where it happened. This is where we saved the United States and the city of Trenton. So I think it's really, really important. I want to thank you all for being supportive of the Trent House. They've been doing wonderful restoration work. Thanks to the mayor and to Maria to make sure that we get these grants and we get the funding to take care of the Trent House. And encourage your friends to come and support the Trent House, not only with your bodies, but with your money, because it's very, very important that we preserve the history of the city of Trenton. So thank you all so much for your support.
Brian Hughes, I'm the county executive for Mercer County. I know that we had our Congresswoman here earlier today, and I know that she joins me in recognizing this historic march that was made starting in New England, coming down through Princeton into Trenton by the French and American troops who gave such great service to all of us in making sure the Revolutionary War ended, and that they camped right here where we stand. And it is an amazing opportunity to be able to recognize 240 years of history being made right here in Trenton. Trenton didn't need a reason to be in the history books at that time. They had already hosted a great battle in the Revolutionary War, but now they were on their way to end the Revolutionary War. And with our French partners and with the Americans who supported them, we are here today with the National Park Service, with all the partners in the Trent House, to tell you, as a Mercer County resident and as a Mercer County official, how much I appreciate the Trent House and all that they have done to continue to represent the history that was made right here in Mercer County. So thank you very much to the National Park Service, or to the, I don't know who I'm handing the microphone over to, but I want to thank you very much for being here and representing us.
Thank you, sir. My name is Johnny Carrollman. I'm a park ranger with the National Park Service. I administer the 680-mile Washington-Rochambeau Revolutionary Route National Historic Trail. The trail originates in Newport, Rhode Island, and ends in Yorktown, Virginia. And its significance is two major things, and that is, it is the largest military maneuver of the American Revolution. Several thousands of troops marching unchallenged, undetected, all the way down to Yorktown, Virginia, to the siege of Yorktown. The other key significant part of that is that it established the Franco-American relationship as what some would call the first NATO-American movement, with having the French to come support. Now, I consider a third reason, and something that I want to highlight, is the American Revolution is about the lesser known. We're wanting to tell the lesser known stories of the American Revolution. And that is the contributions of African Americans, Native Americans, women and children to that story. It's significant. During this 680-mile march, there were camp followers. There were women who helped these soldiers as they marched, with helping to prepare meals, with helping to do the laundry, clothing, and a variety of other different tasks that helped to make the whole unit complete. There were children as young as, I believe, age 14, as I've recently learned, who were also involved with helping to establish freedom in America. Behind me is the 1st Rhode Island Regiment, and we're just really glad to have you gentlemen here today to help tell this story about how Washington, a quarter of his army was African American, and helped to contribute to our freedom. There were over 2,000 soldiers that were African American, and it is important to tell that story and how they contributed to our freedom. So today we're really glad to be here at the William Trent House because just right off to my right, your left here, we had French soldiers who encamped on the way to Yorktown. And 240 years ago today, which is pretty amazing, which is when they started coming into this area, 240 years ago. So we could just go back in time, we could really like imagine what you would see, what you would smell, the different senses. And from here, they went on to Philadelphia to march in front of the Continental Congress, and from there they then went to Yorktown. So today we're glad to have Sam here, and I'd also like you, sir, if you could come up as well. We would like to present you with something that's going to help to identify this site as an official site on the Washington-Rochambeau National Historic Trail. If y'all would come in and take hold of this, I'm giving you possession of this sign.
Come over. You guys come forward. Right there. Come forward. Come forward.
This is significant because this is our nation's newest National Historic Trail. It was established in 2009. And even though it's new, it takes about 20 years to get a trail really established, as well as a park unit. And so with that, we are now signing the route so that people understand that this site is part of the bigger story and a contributor to our nation's freedom.